All right, hey guys, again, welcome back to the center path. Let's take a walk, or let's just travel on the path together. So today we're going over the Eightfold Path, the checklist to reduce suffering. And remember, there's of course 8 parts. It's based on the wheel here. We have 8 spokes to the wheel that all meet in the hub, and it's important that they stay stable and work with each other because each one holds up the other side of the wheel. That's important. We've already gone over the first section, which is prajna and wisdom. The second section, which is sila and morality. And now we're on the third part, which is called samadhi, or concentration. So in that one, there's 3 sections, and we've gone over already effort, and we've gone over mindfulness and meditation. And today, we're kind of wrapping it all up by going over right concentration. So right concentration is important because we want to make sure that we're concentrating or focusing on the correct things. Remember, this is an entire process of developing wisdom, wisdom balanced with compassion. Okay, we want to have those things, and so our concentration, our focus of these should be such that we can develop those for ourselves. And we're trying to use this practice of Buddhism as a spirituality, or as a philosophy, or as a religion for ourselves to have a better life. That's it. We're not trying to bring other people into it. We don't proselytize. We don't convert. We convince, is what my teacher Bante Chao Chu would say. He says, we don't convert, we convince. And you convince through having a good life by following these processes and trying to apply them to your daily life. Now, of course, you're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. I have fumbles. I have stumbles. There's times when I'm very frustrated. I'm very upset. I'm very depressed, very anxious, and all these kind of things. But one of the things I've gotten out of being in Buddhism and working with this for so long is that I catch it quickly, hopefully. I catch it quickly. I realize what's going on in my mind, my speech, and my body, and I can see it ahead of time, and I can let's fix it. Now that's going to be my focus too. So I'm trying to look at those things all the time. I work also as a natural doctor is what I do, and so I'm constantly looking on what we're focusing on to alleviate some kind of stress, suffering or stress. So there's 4 parts of jhana or trance that we'll get into with this kind of thing as we go deeper into concentration, and those 4 things are you're as you sit, and eventually in your life, the passionate desires, which are like things you really dig and you're really into, or the unwholesome thoughts, start to fall away. You start getting a stillness. Right? We're getting a calmness, I call it equanimity, an equality of those kind of things. So you're not too excited about something and too upset about something else. Those kind of will reduce as we get into these things more and we start to apply this Eightfold Path. Happiness will start to get maintained. You'll kind of have like everything is underlined with joy. And I've noticed this because right now we're going through this whole coronavirus thing, and we had a lot of people that were very sick, and a lot of people died. But one of the things that happened was we had to stop all of our in-person classes, and we're doing them all online like this, and that's where this comes from. And in that process, I stopped meditating for a couple weeks, and just because I was working on all these other things and trying to get my business going and make sure my family was taken care of and all these kind of things, and make sure I was doing what was correct. And in that process, I noticed that my frustration started kind of peaking. My fuse got shorter, and I started really having a lot of anxiety. So I had to jump back into my meditation practice because that's my anchor, and that was the thing I had done, every single day. And I do some meditation every day. It's not 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour. I don't make that kind of time for it. But I do at least 5 or 10 minutes every single day. And whether that's going to be, for me, it's chanting, setting up the altar as a meditation, sometimes reading as a meditation. So I'll do some kind of meditative or mindfulness kind of thing where I can be totally focused and get rid of everything else for the day, and I try to make it something useful, right? As we develop this part of our work, our development of concentration, this does bleed over into regular life. And that's the whole idea. I'm doing this is because I want to have people that can take this Buddhism as a spirituality practice or as a philosophical practice or as a religious practice and use it for their daily lives with cell phones and fast cars and computers and family and work and the government and media and all this other nonsense that's just hammering you all the time. Let's try to find some stillness where we have control over what's going on, at least inside our own heads. Okay. The second part too we're going to go over is tranquility of one-pointedness of the mind. As you become one-pointed, this is the first part of our meditation practice we do. So I always have people do a 3 to 5 minute kind of settling meditation where we can be kind of come down and everything from all over the place into one single point of tranquility, okay, or stillness basically, with joy and happiness remains from that. Okay, so hopefully we have this like sense of calm and joy and equanimity in our practice. Okay, this is our right concentration. The third part, we have joy come up as an active feeling, but also it just kind of like comes to the background. And that's sitting there, and we have this what's called equanimity, where things are just kind of still and calm, and nothing is really one way or the other, good or bad. Okay, we're seeing things as they are. We see our minds as it is, as it's reacting in real time, as opposed to going over reviewing stuff from the past or trying to project things onto the future, which hasn't happened yet, right? We're trying to like, oh, this is going to be so terrible, or that was so terrible, or this is going to be so good, or that was so good. We're trying to like, here we are, this is nice. Okay, our joy is kind of maintained, but it's in the background. It's not really part of the foreground of this entire thing. Number 4, all sensations of happiness and unhappiness, joy and sorrow, they disappear, and just pure awareness. Okay, and you'll achieve this. It happens. I mean, one of the things that happens is as you sit, you'll come to a point where there's like, you feel kind of happy. You're like, hey, I feel happy, but that's not, you're not in it yet, right? And then that'll kind of like go away. You feel, I feel kind of calm. This is nice, but you don't have a charge to it. That's the second step right there, right? Third step is like, you're really like everything's calm. You know, nothing's like, I feel really still. I feel really calm. I'm really in that meditative feel. And then the fourth thing is like happiness and unhappiness are kind of like, they're just out in there somewhere, and joy is out, and sorrow is out, and you're just kind of like sitting there in pure awareness. And that'll happen. It'll be that long. As soon as you're aware that you're in awareness, you bop out, and you're going to be excited about it or upset about it, or you're going to hear something or something's going to happen. That's just the normal processes. And I want you to know that that's a great thing. Okay? Now, maintaining those perpetually, that would be called like a nirvana or enlightenment. But right now, we're just trying to, if you can even touch it, if you can get to it and just touch the wall, that's an amazingly good thing, and it means it's possible. And I definitely tell you it is possible. I've seen it in many people that are well versed in meditation, and people who are pretty new at meditation will sit and will have this kind of like point where they'll explain it exactly like this, and it's really nice. It's a feeling you have like when you awake from a dream, and the dream, you realize you're independent of it. You know, it's like, oh, here I am. Oh, that's wonderful. It's kind of a nice thing. So anyway, that's, hopefully you understand a little bit more concentration, mindfulness, and effort. Also, that's the samadhi section of this Eightfold Path. I'm hoping you're able to bring some of that into your own day and bring it into your own practice. Remember to do your practices. Make sure you subscribe as well. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Give us a comment or a question. I love to answer the questions. And this is Reverend Sean over at the Centered Path. Thanks for walking with me, and I hope you guys are really well.